Photoshop Project 5. This is stage 4, working with spot colors. Now, we've handled a little bit before with spot colors, but spot color is going to work way different in Photoshop because of how the spot colors get handled. We're going to have to go into our color settings, and we're going to choose for the CMYK workspace Sheet Fed Coded 2 if it's not already selected. Then you're going to go into Image, Mode, and change this to a CMYK color. Now before you do that, make sure you have preserved this RGB image because I want you to turn that in as well. So you've got this composite image done in RGB, and now we're going to turn this to CMYK. We want to select Don't Merge. We'll get a warning about converting, and you can say OK to that. We can't flatten this because flattening it will merge all of the layers, and we need to be dealing with, particularly right now, this layer and keeping that separate. We're going to open the Channels panel, and in the options we want to choose Panel Options. In your panel options, let's get the large thumbnail, and then again in the options we want a new spot channel. In the dialog box, click the color swatch to open the color picker, and we're going to select color libraries. We want to select, in the book, we want to select the Pantone plus metallic coated. And then type in 8943. That's going to scroll down to the color that was selected for this job. And then you can say OK to the picker. In the spot channel dialog box, you're going to change the solidity to 100% because solidity for a spot channel is like layer opacity. It needs to be entirely opaque so that the other colors don't come through. So we want a spot ink area completely covering anything that's underneath it in CMYK. So we have to use a 100% solidity on this. Then you're going to click OK and save your file. And rather than complete, save it as CMYK. The book is very correct. There is no easy way to map specific layer content to a specific spot channel. To ensure that specific objects print in a spot color, we have to manually cut the content and paste it into the spot color channel. There are limitations to working with spot colors in Photoshop, so you can't apply effects on a spot channel, so you can't put a drop shadow in, for example. You can't store vector information on a spot channel. So with the ballet cover open, you're going to drag the CAC logo layer to the Create New Layer button to duplicate that layer. So let me rearrange a little bit here because I need to be able to have more of my layers showing. And CAC logo, new layer. I'm going to hide the original layer, and I'm going to right click the drop shadow effect and choose Create Layer from that contextual menu. And if you get the warning box that says some aspects of FX can't be reproduced with layers. Click OK on that. Using your lasso tool, you're going to create a marquee around only the orange elements. So I'm going to zoom into that and pick up my lasso tool and select just the orange. Okay, now I think I've got a little bit of the C selected, yes, and I don't want that, so let me use the takeaway there and pull that out. Let me make sure that I am still on that copy, and I am going to go to Edit and Cut, and back in my Layers panel I'm going to select the spot color channel, and I'm going to go to Edit, select Paste Special, Paste in Place. That puts that content in the exact position that it was in when I cut it out, but it's on that spot color channel. The pasted content is not at full strength. The original orange color maps to a medium gray on the spot channel. Then you can deselect, Control D, or just go up to Select Deselect. In the Layers panel, again, you're going to take the orange rectangle 1 layer, and we're going to move it to the Create a New Layer button again to make a copy. Hide the original, right-click the copy and choose Rasterize Layer. Remember, we said we can't have a vector image in the spot color, and you can see the color shift on there. And then with the layer selected, after you've rasterized it, you're going to go to Select Color Range and click wherever that orange banner should be and say OK. That's going to go around the text and finalize the selection. Go to Edit, Cut again, and back in the channels again on the Pantone layer, we're going to do another Edit, Paste Special, Paste in Place, and that's going to bring that back. Again, deselect the active section. So now we have the rasterized banner and we have the logo on that Pantone layer in the channels. Hold your Control key down and click in the thumbnail. Make sure you deselect. Hold your Control key down and click the thumbnail. With everything selected that we need, you're going to go to Edit, Fill, choose Black, and the mode should be set to normal. Opacity has to be at 100% and say OK. That should brighten the colors up just a little bit. Remember, we're working in the channel. We're not working in a regular layer. We're working in that channel. And remember, we have to have that 100% opacity for the banner to be full strength in the spot color. Even though it looks like it's correct, we're going to do this a couple more times. This may have been fixed by this version. I'm not sure. We're going to deselect. Then we're going to click the thumbnail again, hold down your Control key, select the thumbnail. That should select everything there. Go to Edit, Fill, Black, Normal, 100%, say OK. Deselect, go back in one more time, Control click to select, Edit, Fill, Black, 100%. I don't see any shift in color this time, so we should be fine. In the Channels panel, hide your CMYK so that you're just seeing the content for that Pantone channel, and you should be able to see everything is filled in black. We have the cutout for the letters, we have the cutout for her, and we have just the colored part of the logo. You can then go up and show your CMYK layers again and save the final. When we use spot colors, we have to use a file format that can store the spot channel information. Photoshop native files can store that, but the format's going to be used for print applications. A smaller file like a JPEG is good for digital, but JPEG doesn't support spot color channels. If the file has a spot, you're going to need to merge your color data into the primary channels and then save out a JPEG. If you don't do that, you're going to have the spot channels just simply be removed, and if you don't see the spot channel, well, this is what you're going to get. We have a little ghost of the orange image left for some reason. We are going to select that channel and go into the channel options, and we're going to merge spot channel. Say OK to flatten visible layers and discard the hidden layer, and when you look in your channels, you're going to see you are now with a background layer only. The color probably has shifted a little bit because we are in CMYK and we don't get the same color. We are going to do a file save as and save this as JPEG. Save, and in your quality, I know it says to save that as a 10 for that. I'm going to say knock it down to a 7. I didn't even take that down. Let's take it down to a 4, which is only 2 megs, and say OK to that. And we should be done. Although, now I want to make a couple of points on this. Because of the sizes of the files that you've got, I want to take a quick look at our folder and look at what the file sizes are. So the cover complete is the one that we just saved, which is the JPEG. That is only 1.2 megs. The cover complete that we have in CMYK happens to be 84 megs. At 84 megs, this one is just too big for you to turn in. So we're going to open that file back up again and go into image size, and change that resolution down to 100 pixels per inch. That's going to save that down to a 2.4 meg file. Say OK to that. Come on, say OK. So that's going to shrink that down quite a bit as far as pixel based, but I'm going to be able to see all of your layers in there, and that's what I would like you to save that size file to. So just do a save again to that, and that's what you're going to turn in. Looking at the next one, the ballet cover complete, it is also that same Photoshop file. It's got the layers and everything in there. It does not have that as the spot channel. It just has that as that rectangle layer, which is what I would also like to see. So if you go into image size on that one, you will see that that is only a 16 meg file. So let's cut the resolution on that down to 150, which is going to, let's take that back down also to 100 megs, which is going to take that below 2 megs, and say OK to that, and that file you can turn in. Let's see what other files we have in there. That's the original file. So these three are the ones I'm going to want to see, and now that they have been saved down, they're going to be much easier for you to upload. I don't want to see those full-size ones that just bogs down everything and makes it harder for you to upload, harder for me to grade. I just like to see the cut down size on those files, and you should be absolutely fine. Thank you.